Well, day two of the NFL draft is in the books. We're going to talk about some of the more impressive picks in the second day of the draft, rounds 2 and 3. And we will talk about maybe some picks that not, I thought were a little bit reaches in terms of where I've had them graded relative to where they were taken. Also, going to give you a look at the best available players. Still, best players available, still some good players available for Saturday's 4th through 7th round. So we've got a lot for you. But a reminder before we get to that, um, remember to like and follow us. If you want the best football information, college football, NFL, draft, recruiting, all year round, we got you covered right here. So to like and follow us, we'd really appreciate it. Will allow us to continue to provide this type of programming for you. Also, if you want more detailed breakdowns, for example, pick by pick analysis, not just the first round, but every round, head on over to LandryFootball.com where you get detailed scouting, coaching evaluations. LandryFootball.com is the only place where you can get the highly credentialed football information that we can provide for you. Well, let's get to the elephant in the room. Don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I did a whole piece on it. Check out the Why Shadur Sanders has dropped. You can get more of that details in the more recent podcast. Check it out. If you haven't listened to it, go ahead and check it out. Look, there's a couple of things that are going on. A few things, really, more than two. One, as I mentioned, he's not as highly regarded as a player by football people, scouts, coaches, as he is by the media. The media doesn't pick players. They don't evaluate players. Even the talking heads on TV, they're not scouts. They're not evaluators. They're just people who gather information and throw out their opinion that others kind of give them as their own. Problem with that is they're getting information and people on the inside are not telling them the whole story. So that's why they're so off on a lot of their quote unquote rankings and best available. Not as good in the eyes of football people. One, I still say that he is good enough to at least get drafted, and he will. Am I a little surprised that he's lasted this long? I am, but not shocked. First thing is the evaluation. Second is there's no real upside with him. You can win with him, as I mentioned, but he's not going to win for you. He's not a great athlete, doesn't have a great arm. He's got a lot to learn about how to see the game. Coachability has been called into question. Some of the interviews that he had with teams, he came off as just this superstar guy. And the one thing you don't want to be, there are a lot of arrogant, cocky guys. If you're an elite player, they'll put up with it. If you're not an elite player, they're not going to put up with it. And they're not going to put up with daddy drama, talking about how great he is and having the whole media narrative. That is all in play here. Make no mistake. That said, somebody may bring him in, but keep in mind, now he comes in where he's going to be a backup quarterback. Do you want that in your locker room where every media person is not going to go to the starting quarterback? He's going to go to see what old Sanders Jr. is going to do. And then, hey, let's get some of our media people to participate in the Colorado football media session to see what daddy thinks about it. It's not what you want in your locker room. Again, you'll put up with it to a point if he's a great player. If he's a good player, might not. I still think the guy can be very good as a distributor with a great team around him. I think he can be successful. You want your quarterback to be a great team leader and a guy that is going to represent your organization the way you want it. They are the natural spokesman amongst the players in your organization. What do you want in that position? You don't want somebody that's going to be have his own TV reality show that daddy gets him. That's going to be putting all the dirty laundry out there. Um, be on social media all the time. I get it. All these players are on social media. There's some people that are going to garner more attention by their name. And if you're the quarterback, think Aaron Rodgers and all of the Twitter junk. And he's no longer the great player, Aaron Rodgers, anymore. And he is a problem in most people's eyes because how it's all about him. It's one of the all-time greats. He was no longer anymore. You're getting similar things with Shador without nearly the production. It's all of that's coming into play. So where he's going to go, who can make that work, don't know. We'll see. Biggest winners, best picks. Love what Seattle did. Nick Imawari, the safety, long, very good. Elijah Aurora, Jalen Milroe. Speaking of quarterbacks, place where you can develop behind Geno Smith makes some sense there, no question. I got quarterback to learn behind Darnold. Listen, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like the Cardinals pick of Will Johnson, Jordan Birch. Johnson's got the knee issue. He's a top 15 pick in this draft. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, in terms of a zone corner, jumping routes, playing the ball, this guy is elite. Not a great man guy. Knowing what he is and how to use him is the key. Not a fit for everyone. Really good pick, though, for them. The Texans got Jaden Higgins. They got Irsay, Jalen Noel, Jalen Smith. Makes some sense. Help their team. Got really good value there. I think the Giants getting Darius Alexander, I think the Giants have done a really good job. Look, they got Abdul Carter early on Thursday. They got already have Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. Now they get Alexander. Plays with speed, physicality, can bend. Like really good player. I think the Bears have done a nice job. Luther Burden, a good weapon at receiver, good value. We talked about him amongst the best players available going into Friday night. Trapilo and Shamon Turner. Look, if Caleb Williams doesn't break out, there's going to be a lot of questions because they've got some playmakers. You've got Colston Loveland in the first round. Really, really good draft by the Bears here. Mason Taylor and Ezra Thomas, good picks by the Jets. I think makes some sense here. I think the Patriots have helped themselves. Travion Henderson's a really good back. Kyle Williams, Jared Wilson, I thought they did a good job. The Commanders have done a good job. Really, really impressive. If you're looking at some people that maybe had questionable picks, I think Cleveland, Schlesinger, Judkins is a good player. Harold Fannin, Dylan Gabriel, to me, I think is a really quality young number two that can learn. He can move a little bit. But, I don't know. I think you let much better players on the board. I understand the importance of having a backup. But you're talking about a guy that you can't keep on the field very long. I'm not sure I would have taken him at 94. But, look, they need to address their quarterback situation. And they haven't really done that. And they obviously didn't like the quarterbacks in this draft enough to do so. Flacco's 40 years old. Kenny Pickett's been traded twice. We'll see how this works out. Gabriel's not the answer. He's just strictly a backup. The Saints, I think Tyler Shuff is really good. I think he's got potential. He's got upside as opposed to Sanders not having much upside. Vernon Broughton, Jonas Sanker, not crazy about some of the moves that they've made. So we'll see how this plays out. Not crazy about what the Broncos have done. R.J. Harvey, Pat Bryant, Savion Jones, not crazy about those picks, but I do like their first-round picks. So those are some of the thoughts that I have on who I think did well, maybe who I think didn't get great value from where they are. And, of course, we're going to see how that plays out. What about the best prospects still available? Well, look, I still think you've got to look at Shadur Sanders being a fit for somebody. Yada Black, the defensive tackle of Iowa. Jordan Royals, the receiver from Utah State. I think Marcus Meebo from the guard from Missouri can be a really good player. Ayu Manor, the receiver from Stanford, can help. I like this outside backer from Central Arkansas, David Walker. I think Barron Sorrell, the defensive end from Texas, is a really good player. Texas has had a number of guys go. Ty Robinson, the defensive tackle from Nebraska. Jack Sawyer of Ohio State, some of my favorite prospects there. So I think that Jalen Royals of Utah State's another one, the receiver. I think those are just some of the guys. If you want a complete list of the best of players available, head on over to LandryFootball.com where we've got a more detailed list. Folks, there are second-round graded players that are going to be gone in round 4. The numbers just correlate to that. So got some good value here on Saturday. I think it's the most intriguing part of the draft. It's not the biggest newsy one unless you're all consumed by the Shadur Sanders, where does he go type story. But this is where I think the depth of your team is made. This is where you can find gems that can be really good players and allow you versatility across your offensive and defensive scheme. So a big day, an important day. We got you prepared for it, hope for you a little bit. Go over to LandryFootball.com to get even more details, information about this draft and all things football. Appreciate you joining us. Enjoy day 3 of the NFL draft. We'll break down day 3 for you on Sunday. And then obviously during the week, we're going to get a chance to absorb the entire draft and tell you how everything laid out. So keep it right here. Appreciate you joining us. Remember to like and follow us right here.